I'm Dane, and this is Dan Explains. Early on in my channel, I did a video on global warming. Well, since then, along with some new information, I've seen some ideas I presented in the video in other places. And no, I don't think they watched it. In light of that, and how unwatchably cringy my whole video is, I thought I'd revisit the topic. Usually it's thought that global warming will destroy the Earth and humanity. Well, to the contrary, it may have actually saved us. Let me explain why. Despite the belief of many, the climate is changing. You can argue whether it's human-caused or not, but anyone who isn't a young Earth creationist, which is a whole nother bunch of videos I plan to revisit, is probably aware that about 15,000 years ago, the Earth was much colder than it is today. Of course, it was the end of the last glacial maximum 15,000 years ago, which peaked around 20,000 years ago when mile-thick sheets of ice went as far south as New York City, London, and St. Louis. And notice I didn't say ice age, because we're still technically in that ice age, just a warm period during it called an interglacial. We've actually been in an ice age for the last 2 million years or so, where it's cold for the most part with short warm-ups. This happens in cycles called milankovitchcycles. The cold glacial periods usually last around 85,000 years, and the warm interglacials last much less time, at around 10,000 years. There are lots of theories and conjectures on why this happens, but they're mostly centered around the orbit and motion of the Earth. While I think that definitely controls the cadence of the cycles, I don't think they are the cause of the cycles. As a biologist, I like to lean towards theories that are biology-based. One I found particularly interesting is that glacial and interglacial periods are caused by the die-off and regrowth of vegetation in the northern hemisphere, due to feedback loops, the cadence of which is timed by the orientation of the Earth and orbital parameters, where the Earth's temperature is like a kid being pushed on a swing. During interglacial periods, plants are able to increase their biomass, in particular, especially in large areas normally dominated by glaciers during glacial maximums, like Canada and Siberia. This lowers the global carbon dioxide levels. This, in turn, lowers the global temperatures, until the point the glaciers start to take those areas over again. However, because most of the biomass is frozen, the carbon dioxide levels continue to decline until it gets below 200 parts per million. Much lower than that, and the plants literally start to suffocate. At that point, all that's needed is a small nudge to cause a die-off of plants, like cyclic changes in the Earth's orbit and the motion to lower how much energy the plants are getting. Once the die-off happens, the absorption of carbon dioxide is slowed, and the dead plants decay, releasing more carbon dioxide, causing a sudden warm-up, which uncovers more decaying biomass, etc., bringing the glacial period to an abrupt end. Each one of these cycles puts evolutionary pressure on the plants to survive at the lower carbon dioxide levels, making each glacial period a little bit colder than the previous one, in a reinforcing cycle. Basically, the Earth's atmosphere has been very carbon dioxide starved for the last 2 or 3 million years or so. What does this have to do with global warming? This current interglacial we're now in has gone on for about 15,000 years now, and has been oddly stable temperature-wise, at least until recently. No one really knew why, but some scientists have pointed to changes in the obliquity of the Earth as a cause. Some other scientists have proposed that the cause is us. Yep, us. Humans warming the Earth before it was cool. One of the major changes that happened to humans about 15,000 years ago was a switch from a completely hunter-gatherer lifestyle to an agrarian one, to build farms that cut down and burn forests. This action prevented the overexpansion of biomass in the northern hemisphere. In turn, carbon dioxide levels were not able to decline like they had in previous interglacials, giving us a peculiarly long and stable interglacial. However, for the last few hundred years, the world has been in a general cooling trend, one that, if you look at the motion of the Earth, should last another 23,000 years or so. Of course, at the moment, we know that we're in a warming trend, also commonly known as global warming. Now you can argue the match between global temperatures and the carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere is a chicken and the egg situation. But data collected through ice cores and sea sediments have shown that once the carbon dioxide concentration drops below around 280 parts per million, the next glacial period begins. During the period known as the Ice Age, starting around the 17th century, carbon dioxide levels had indeed fallen below the 280 parts per million threshold. That is, until around the 19th century, where the carbon dioxide level started to increase. And so did the temperature. Basically, the Industrial Revolution may have happened just in the nick of time to put off the next glacial maximum. Today, the atmospheric carbon dioxide is over 400 parts per million, a level the Earth hasn't seen since before this ice age. As I pointed out in another video a few months back, the increased carbon dioxide levels have caused the Earth to green more than we've ever seen. I also pointed out in that video that if we stop releasing carbon dioxide, all those extra plants may mop up the excess carbon dioxide much faster than we think, causing sudden glaciation. However, if we continue to release carbon dioxide and get the levels up to around 750 parts per million, we may be able to end the current ice age altogether. Would that cause massive sea level rise? Yes, but the loss in land will be made up for by the increase in arable land that is generally too cold for agriculture or human habitation today. Besides, where would you rather be? On a warm beach or under a mile of ice? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. Subscribe to my channel and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon to get extra content and special perks. Link in the description. The more people support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.